Well, right now we've got kind of a good news, bad news update for you. We're going to take you to the good news in just a second, but the bad news is the wind is at my back, and right behind me is where the fire is. It's south of Heavenly, directly due south. And if we just push in on the windsock that you can see right there at the base camp, the Forest Service is getting set up here at Heavenly's California Lodge. You can see that is the direction of the wind. It's going to want to take the fire directly this way. I had the opportunity to get back into Christmas Valley today, which was definitely worthwhile. It's a little bit easier of a beat than what John was doing because it wasn't such a mixed story. Everything down in Christmas Valley somehow miraculously made it through that big push the fire made on Monday night. It leaped right over the valley and crews were able to get to all of the spot fires. But we went ahead and took a look at some of the homes that were most threatened. All good news here off of Santa Claus Drive, where there's easily a few dozen, if not 100 or so homes, all still standing in Christmas Valley, thanks to the heroic effort of firefighters. Just take a look at how close the black came to these properties back here. And it wasn't exactly a tame fire when it did. Here's what it looked like. We were looking at flame lengths hundreds of feet high as these trees were torching from the spot fires that were caused when the Caldor Fire slopped out from over on Echo Summit and embers blew across Christmas Valley. So it was intense heat right here. Favorable wind direction definitely helped the firefighters. The fire wanted to go uphill here. Even though the news is good right now, this firefight could still take a while, and people need to be prepared for that.
There is still stumps burning, there's still other things out there burning, and they are still kicking out embers. So even though it doesn't look like a big firefight here, there's still plenty of work for the firefighters to make sure that those embers don't kick out and start the fire up again.
Jason and his crew know what they're talking about. They came down here from Butte County where they work with Cal Fire. So these are people who were up against the 2018 campfire. They also are familiar with the Dixie fire burning in their backyard, and that's instructive. That fire has been burning for more than a month and a half, and even though it makes a big run and maybe a community looks safe one day, they've also had to re-evacuate people because the fire sloshes back in a different direction when the wind changes. And that's why even in the pockets of South Lake Tahoe where we have good news to tell you about, like here, we're not out of the woods yet, and we won't be for some time. Okay, so we're back here at Heavenly at the California Lodge where they're getting ready to set up a command post. They're going to do what's called splitting the fire. So you'll have a management team over in the Placerville area. There'll be one here in the Tahoe Basin. But here's the best part for the fire crews. That's a refrigerator full of food. And if you think that's a small deal, it isn't. They've evacuated everything in South Lake Tahoe, so there's literally no food service. These guys have been getting their food sent from Placerville over here and eating, cold breaded chicken by the time it gets to them. So at least they'll have some hot food in their stomachs.
Oh, that is indeed good news. Quite a bit of good news, especially as you showed that so many of those properties were able to survive that terrible run that fire made on Monday. Brandon, we thank you for the live update.